What's up, nerds? Plugged In is back and better than ever. I'm your host, Tyler, along with Michael and Tyler, and today we're discussing the first episode of Moon Knight and the Top Gun Maverick trailer, and so much more. So let's roll that intro. Alright, so first up, we're going to talk about Moon Knight Episode 1. What do you guys think of that episode?
Really liked it. Oscar Isaac, fantastic job. I think it's a nice new addition to the MCU. I know Shang-Chi had a really refreshing take with some Marvel properties, and this is, I think, another one that's going to follow suit with it.
I mean, I can't get enough of the first episode. You don't see really enough of Mark Spector, which I like. I like that take of it. Just everything just together. I don't know. It's just very good. I have enough praise for the show.
Yeah, and with that, the editing works well, where you only see his Steven persona up until the very end, and it's just kind of cool how he passes out when Mark takes over, and I think it's really interesting to kind of do the subject matter that the show is really focusing on with mental health and dissociative identity disorder and all that.
The whole mountainside, what was it? The last half hour, I think.
Yeah.
The whole mountainside chase. I thought that was amazing.
I'm really excited for what they're going to do with kind of Egyptian mythology here, because I know they have Thor with Norse mythology. So I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with the Egyptian side of things, and if they're going to include any other mythology from any other areas of the world.
Well, this is the first time we really had Egyptian mythology in it, and it begs the question of the Eternals. I mean, the Eternals, we see that they're basically based off of other mythology throughout the world. I mean, Gilgamesh being one that's ancient Sumeria and all that. So it begs the question is, could this tie into the Eternals some way? Because clearly Khonshu, the god that is haunting Mark, is real. So that's not like this is just some fake thing. So it kind of is like, are the Eternals somehow intertwined with this story? Because, I mean, as much as the movie it's not a bad movie, it definitely doesn't get as much love as Spider-Man No Way Home did.
Which sucks.
So, maybe this could be that start of that solving it. And of course, Dane Whitman, Black Knight, Moon Knight, maybe we get a little cameo, I don't know. But I think it's definitely a good start. And one thing I think we got to mention is we don't see Moon Knight in his full attire
until the last
when
minute.
he's beating on that dog creature. And oh my God, is it not? It just looks good. It looks so good.
It looks really good.
I think this show is really good. I think it's been a while since we've had a good Marvel thing. I mean, Morbius comes out this weekend, but that's not
reviews right now.
That's not getting the best reviews. And I think this will be a nice couple of weeks of kind of following this character around. And really, it's just kind of nice that they're doing it, and the brutality of it.
I think it's really interesting how you can tell how brutal whatever their fight was, but you don't really get to see any of it, which I guess is kind of good for censorship in a way, but I mean, you can still kind of get the picture, I think, which is kind of a good thing.
I think that's the most blood I've ever seen in a Marvel property, and it was
especially the blood on his hand,
Yeah.
Outside the restaurant from, I guess it was a scarab, right?
Yeah, they were trying to get that. I think it's also, Disney Plus just changed their age restriction recently. I'm sure everyone who has an account got that email saying, "Oh, we're changing everything."
Yeah, you have to put in a code that you make, which is nice because you don't want your little kids watching that stuff.
Oscar Isaac beat up a bunch of German guys, So, I mean, I think it's also because they added Deadpool recently, so I'm sure. But it's gonna be nice to see because now I'm excited for the Daredevil show when they ever decide to reboot that, because if they're gonna be following suit with the violence like this, I think that Daredevil might have a really good home on Disney Plus now. So,
I feel like it's going to be a really big change though for Oscar Isaac from going from this ragtag X-Wing pilot from Star Wars into Moon Knight. I feel like this more violent kind of person and kind of hero. I mean, hero or villain, we don't really know, but probably hero.
Yeah, I'm thinking leaning more towards a hero. I mean, it definitely makes it seem like he's a good guy at the end of the day, and he is trying to stop something. We don't know what this threat is. I kind of get that they're trying to release some god who's, I did a little bit of research on the mythology. Apparently it's this crocodile thing that they're worshiping. It's not really an Egyptian god, but it was kind of like their killer when to judge souls in the afterlife. So I don't know. Kind of curious to see how that's going to follow up in the next 5 episodes, but overall, I really enjoyed it, and I think it's definitely a good start for this new series.
I agree. All right, so moving on. We have PlayStation. They're introducing 3 tiers of PS Plus. So we got it launching in June. The first tier is, well, I guess it's essential. It's got 2 monthly downloadable games for $9.99 a month. The second tier, which is kind of like the extra pack, has the same benefits as the first, but with 400 downloadable games, and it's for $15.99 a month. And then the third tier is kind of like the premium one, which same benefits as the earlier tiers, but it adds up to 340 more games, including PS1 through PS3 and PSP games, and limited game trials for $17.99 a month. Would you guys buy this?
It's like the Xbox Game Pass. Probably not. I don't play enough video games now to like warrant something like that. It sounds cool, especially with those PS1, PS3, and the PSP games, because there's only games, they only made like some certain games for PSP and that's it. So it would be really interesting. A couple Star Wars games in particular, who I would love to see on the bigger screen. But I think there's so many streaming services I gotta pay for right now, and I'm not gonna pay for something that I'm not gonna use that often. So probably not, but I'm sure the PlayStation fanboys and fangirls out there will definitely buy it. So
I'll probably try the $15.99 a month for like probably a month or two. See how I like it. I'll probably stick with it, but the just the regular PlayStation Plus subscription, the essential, like they say, is good enough for me. Some of the games are iffy. Like this month was Ark, Survival Evolved, and Team Sonic Racing, and then the Ghost of Tsushima, like a battle royale, kind of like PvP type.
Did they make a PvP thing for that?
Yeah, it was like they made it earlier last year, I think. I got the game. I like played it for like a month.
Is it battle royale or is it like?
It might just be PvP.
So it's like a For Honor kind of thing, because
Yeah,
that's what I
kind
get
of,
from
I
that
think.
game.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I'd go $15.99. So
I don't think I would waste it personally, but hey, you
I
know.
mean, 400 games. You know,
I mean,
get to try different.
I guess. I mean, I just don't play enough anymore. I mean.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't really play enough video games anymore to buy something like that, especially, the $15.99 version for that many games.
Still trying to get a PlayStation 5, so let me get there. Let me get it first, and then let me get back to you on it.
I mean, if they put MLB The Show 22 on it, then that might get me to get it, because I don't want to spend 60 on it this year with Skywalker.
Oh, I already got
the same day.
duh, yeah.
Literally the same day. They both come out the same
Which one
day.
are you playing? Well, you
Skywalker.
pre-ordered. Yeah, you pre-ordered it,
Skywalker.
so
Doing
yeah.
it this weekend. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
Alrighty, so next up, we got the Halo TV show. So, as we see, we got the Chiefs face reveal. What are we thinking on that?
It's not. There's no reward. It didn't work. It should have been some very emotional type of thing, and it just wasn't.
No.
I mean, even 343 Industries came out and said that it wasn't anything to it. I think they did one season of TV in one show. We went from Master Chief being a loyal servant to the UNSC to him being like, I'm going to turn on you guys and help this rebel. Why? Why? It's so
much
dumb.
stuff just kind of happened in this short period of time that they gave us for like the actual episode or the show. So
It's like, I'm not even excited to watch. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah. My thing is the theme song. I don't know. Like, you don't go like an upbeat. You go a more like mellow, like orchestra.
Yeah.
Just rip it from the game.
Yeah.
You have 343. Take it from the game. They have the file still. 99% positive they still have the file in a computer somewhere.
It's such an iconic
Yeah.
song. Look, we gotta look. I saw an article like the person who wrote the script didn't even play the games. How do you not play the games or look at least some of the IP that you're gonna be writing on?
Even if you just go from Guardians, like I think that's enough. Even if you just go from like one game, even Combat Evolved, like the beginning.
I mean, I'm happy that this is not Halo canon.
Yeah.
This is totally in its own separate entity, which is fine. It's just, I feel like they just want to give the actor his face time, but it's not like it's a Pedro Pascal scenario. I've never seen this guy
it's not like
before.
a Way of the Mandalorian type of thing.
This isn't some big actor. I looked him up. He's been in some small stuff.
It's Liev Schreiber's brother.
Yeah, so it's like,
Sabretooth's brother.
it's like this guy's, in the grand scheme of things, is really not the biggest actor in Hollywood. And here's another problem. They could have brought the voice actor back too, that voiced Master Chief. Like what? I will give it one thing though. CGI is not that bad. For I mean, a season 1 budget, like the elites look pretty cool.
It didn't look too bad.
There were some times where I was like, all right, that looks a little noticeable, but like I think Reach
Yeah.
looked really good. A lot of the ships did, and credit where credit's due. But it's just, I feel like it just doesn't feel like a Halo game. It looks like a Halo game, but it doesn't feel like a Halo
The one
game.
scene that got me screaming though, was when they like invaded like the compound place or whatever in the beginning, and he took the light sword. It literally, he took it and it just went straight through. I was like,
Yeah, it was awesome.
oh my god! I was like, no,
Yeah.
it just decimated the guy.
It was pretty brutal. I mean, of course, I guess they're kind of spinning it as like this is like the first time the Covenant's acknowledging itself, which is kind of cool. I always enjoy that. I thought it was really neat though to see High Charity right in the first episode, where we got to see the Covenant homeworld, and that was really neat.
Didn't watch anything past the beginning of it.
Yeah, see, the
so-
first 10 minutes is great, but like after that, they show like High Charity, and they show like one of the main villains of Halo 2, like the guys in the chairs or whatever. I forget their names, but like I'm kind of expecting to see an Arbiter soon, maybe. There's also some other subplot that they're trying. It's a mess. And maybe I gotta just give it another episode, but like it's gonna be hard seeing the start of the episode with Master Chief with his helmet off, you know.
It's just a little too different. That's all it is for me.
And look, there's nothing wrong with being different, and I think you could have done a different story. You could have, just did a soft reboot of this, but just kind of kept the same stuff. It would have been fine. I just think the story of the Covenant kind of exposing themselves has been done before, and I think it would have been more interesting to start off in like the middle of the human Covenant war. It's just my opinion. I would like to see the Flood. I don't think we're going to get that. I mean, the rings also seem like they hinted that they're already a known thing, so I don't really know where it can go.
Just from hearing you talk about this, it just seems like a hodgepodge opening to a series. I don't know.
Well, I think this show really just reminds me of The Mandalorian, because now he has a kid he has to take care of, and they have to travel around the galaxy evading the law. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Everyone just saw The Mandalorian. It's like, we can do that, but with our stuff. And it's like,
We can
Master
do
Chief
that.
doesn't have a sidekick like that,
Now that you mention it, I can totally see that that's what it's going to turn into.
Thank you. Yeah, enough said on that, but I could go on and on about how I don't like this show, but...
All right, next up, we got Top Gun Maverick. What do you guys think the plot's going to be here?
The trailer looks interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like what the original plot was supposed to be.
So from what I got from all the trailers they released, he's training a bunch of younger fighter pilots to I think essentially become what Maverick's become, this top fighter that's garnered by everybody. But I do have one theory, that Goose's son is gonna die. Just that one thing from the trailer, just when the fighter jet goes down and Maverick notices it, I think that's Goose's son's jet, and that he dies. Kind of like a fate that Goose had. I don't know. That's just a
I don't disagree with
film
you.
theory.
I'm excited for it, but it's one of those movies that didn't need a remake. But I mean, I will say that Tom Cruise flying a plane again looks really sweet, and all the fighter jet stuff looks really good.
The newer military fighter jet that we see at the end, where he goes over the hut type of thing, and they're all standing outside. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think it's actually
enjoy that.
really nice that they're actually apparently there's gonna be a war in this movie or something. So I guess we'll actually get to see a little bit more combat than we did in the first one, where it was a little bit more on the drama side of it.
Yeah.
This one definitely seems to be going more of that action route. I mean, when's it come out? It's coming out in
May
June, right?
27th.
May? Okay, so
Yes. 3 weeks after Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange gets that money.
Same day as
box
Obi-Wan.
office time.
ooh,
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
gonna
right.
compete.
Yeah, that's right.
Would rather stay at home and watch 2 hours of Obi-Wan, or do I want to go to the movies and
I'd
pay?
rather go watch.
I'll choose
Top Gun.
Obi-Wan.
Wow, I'd choose Obi-Wan any day of the week.
I'd like Top Gun.
I mean, what crazy stunt do you think he's going to do? Because he does one in every movie. What's the crazy stunt this time? Is he going to eject himself out of a plane?
That'd be pretty cool.
I think that's where you
I
have to
think
go with
that,
it.
like I said, the newer fighter jet, that's going to be pretty cool stunts to pull off.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely going to be some callbacks here to the first one. I think that's definitely going to be something big in this movie.
That's probably more than likely guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll see some characters probably from the first movie. And
In the first trailer, there's a volleyball, little snippet scene again. It's just going to probably copy and paste from the first one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a movie that my family's certainly excited for, so I'll probably go see it with them.
All right. And so our last topic for today, Game of Thrones, the spin-off series. It's called The House of the Dragon, and it's a prequel. It takes 200 years prior to Game of Thrones, and it premieres August 21st, 2022. And there's going to be 10 episodes in the first season. Anyone got any ideas for plot?
I mean, I think it's about the Targaryens and their rise to power and their inevitable fall to power. So I think we got to see a little bit more dragons, which I know some people were excited about. I mean, I just remember when the show literally got canceled. Then they said it's coming back, and then they said we don't have a release date. And then they just dropped a release date like yesterday. I like this show. It's already canceled or something. Like, I thought it was canceled, but now it's back.
Yeah, I
don't know.
remember seeing like, 2022 is our release date. I was like, can I have more?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the last season of Game of Thrones. I'm sure most people weren't. But I kind of just wanted more of like a Robert's Rebellion kind of thing that they mentioned so much in the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones. I think it would have been cool to bring back some of like the characters like Sean Bean and
I think
all
you're the
those.
resident Game of Thrones guy here. Maybe.
I wouldn't.
a little
I
bit.
literally binge watched it 2 months before the final season. So yeah, I guess I kind of like was the resident.
I feel
But it's
sorry
just
for
like
you.
I wasted all that time, and
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I love all the other seasons. It's just
For a crappy eighth
to
season.
get through 2 months of television, and
It's hard.
it was like hard to sit there and watch it and be like, oh, the Battle of Winterfell. I couldn't see half of it. Oh, King's Landing. That's cool. They're not gonna like destroy it. It destroys King's Landing. I'm like, well, that really doesn't help, does it? Oh, John and her are gonna get like married. Oh, he kills her. Oh, John's gonna like become king. Oh, he goes beyond the wall. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, they subverted my expectations, but
It
it's
felt almost predictable from what you're saying in a way, give or take. maybe.
No, it was unpredictable. It was unpredictable in a bad way, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I think it just kind of sucks because I think Game of Thrones has lost that hype. I think they're trying to still think that everyone's on that hype, but like the story's over. Like I don't think anyone has read any other George R.R. Martin books, and I don't think this is based on a book, is it?
I think it
Is it?
maybe.
I
I
don't
have
know
no
because there's
clue.
so many books that he writes. I don't know which ones are tied to
Yeah.
Game of Thrones and which one are just kind of in the world of Game of Thrones. So
Yeah, I've
I'm-
got no clue.
I don't know. I mean, there's some set photos that released that it looks pretty good. It looks like Game of Thrones, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's also late summer, so
Yeah.
it'll be here before you know it.
I don't know. Do you guys think it really needed a spin-off?
No.
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 It's a prequel of all things. You should have done it following the stories of all the characters we know and love. You know, I don't think setting something 200 years before, it's just not going to have the same feel. And I think they're just trying to make another Game of Thrones where they can have 8, 9 seasons because it's 200 years before. So like you won't have any problem running into people. We'll see families that we know, like the Starks, the Lannisters, and all them. But it's like you won't get to see all the characters we like.
I don't know. I might watch it. I have HBO Max.
I got it too.
So-
It probably will go on, so I'll give it a shot like I give Halo a shot. and-
Background noise for me, maybe. Who
Right.
knows? Who knows?
Something to listen to, something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
a lot of just the name of the game, I guess anymore. Everyone's just trying to market on that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so the Oscars happened. From what I hear, really boring, except for Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah,
Very shocking.
yeah, he will
to be
definitely keep
honest.
his wife's name out of his mouth
Yeah.
now. So,
And I did see today that he could face suspension or expulsion from the Academy.
I saw that
that's
too.
kind of crazy considering some
So-
other people are still a part of
Yeah.
it.
Kevin Spacey.
Harvey Weinstein, those are kind of people that, maybe should also get revoked
Yeah.
if that's the case.
But
But I think the big win that we can all take here is that Dune did not win Best Picture.
so all right, I'm happy that Coda won. Nice
think you are.
nice that they're getting representation and everything. But I just really want Dune to win. I don't want to sound like rude or mean or anything to the deaf community, but I just really wanted Dune to win. I wanted a clean sweep. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
no, and that was the
Yeah.
problem. It won all the categories I thought it was going to win, and then I'm like, if it doesn't win, that's great. But here's the fun thing. Netflix has been nominated so many times for Best Picture. Apple TV's fairly new, and they just won their first. Like, so it's just probably like Netflix is like pissed off that they put out all this. They think they put out all this good work, and then like a streaming service of 2 years old beats them. So
I mean, I haven't seen Power of the Dog, but I'm happy that a female director has won again.
yeah, it's great.
So that's good. Chloe Zhao won last year.
Yeah, you would like
whoever
Power of the
won.
Dog though. I really enjoyed it,
know.
so
I
I
might
really
give it a
enjoyed it.
chance.
Yeah,
I have no clue. But cinematography, like everything that's like visual and sound, deserves to be to Dune. Because I was watching a video the other day. It was about Hans Zimmer just going over like the music and everything. They've used like instruments that like you wouldn't even think would be in like a movie because it's such like dystopian type of like movie that they can use all those weird instruments and make a great soundtrack. My favorite soundtrack of last
I'm
year.
glad he did win though. Hans
Yes.
Zimmer for score.
It's only
I
his
was-
second win too. I forget what the other one was
What
for.
was his first? Oh,
Maybe?
was it for? Well, it's got to be for another Nolan film, right? Was it
No,
Interstellar?
it was Lion King in '90. Whenever it
Did he
first
do
went.
The Lion King?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I know that movie. Yeah, I know he did that.
I guess
So
interesting. I guess.
I thought it was a good Oscars this year. to be
I
honest.
actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was definitely fun. It definitely beat last year's Oscars. There wasn't that many movies, especially well-known ones. This one had quite a bit. And I think the Oscars got enough ratings to probably survive another year.
Yeah.
So
They need to go to 100.
yeah, at
They need to
least
get a century old. Come on now.
yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, it's almost.
We're getting there. Well, that's all the time that we have for today's episode. I'm Tyler, along with Michael and Tyler. Tune in next week for another riveting discussion in the world of pop culture. Have a great night, Millersville.